Here's Kyle. I want you to hear his story. This is one of the amazing stories that happens because of Bear Necessities Pediatric Foundation. One of their success stories and one of the reasons that we're all here tonight to make sure more stories like this one happen going forward. So without further ado, I want everybody to pay attention up here and give a big round of applause for Kyle.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so I just wanted to speak about how Bear Necessities has impacted me through my cancer journey. I just wanted to take you guys back to the summer of 2013. My mom had just finished 16 weeks of brutal chemotherapy and was ready to go in for surgery to get her tumor removed. Now, during all of this, I noticed problems with my vision, and I failed a vision test through my school, and that led to an ophthalmologist appointment. Between all of that, my mom did have her surgery, and we found out that her tumor was removed. However, her cancer did spread to her lymphatic system. So a lot of stress was built into the family after hearing that. Now, I had my MRI, and days later, the neurologist from CDH had called me saying that they had the results. They brought me in and immediately had to leave. And that logic told me that this was not going to be good news. So I met an awesome lady named Trina. We played games together. And moments later, I was brought into the room and I was told that I had a brain tumor. Now, when this is told to you, you just hit an instant state of shock, and you know, it's undescribable. And luckily, I was introduced to Bear Necessities the day of my diagnosis, which was awesome, and I would hope that they'd be a big part through my cancer journey. Days later, we went through what the procedure was going to what the procedure was going to be for my brain tumor, and we found out that my tumor would be inoperable, and I would need 48-week chemo plan. All I was thinking about at this time was soccer. Am I going to play soccer? Because that's what I love to do. And I did play soccer. School approached, I did play soccer. And I was the captain of my freshman soccer team at the beginning of the year. Yes, thank you. This is awesome. But however, as the season progressed, I got more tired and more tired and more tired. And you know, this was the very first low point of my cancer journey, because I went from, I was a kid who was running 3 miles and every day in the summer, and a kid who was playing full games for soccer, and now I was a kid who couldn't play on the soccer field for more than 5 minutes. And it was brutal, and it was the first low point in my life. But I got that letter from Bear Necessities, and I'll never forget this, and I got gift cards to shop at my favorite stores. And it was such a welcomed distraction, because I wasn't thinking about all the stress that was built in from not having my stamina and going through chemo. And then months passed, and I was getting sicker and sicker. I dropped to 86 pounds, and in December, I had pneumonia, 105-degree fever all month, and I was at my sickest. My mom was going through radiation. I mean, you could just imagine all the stress that was going on. My dad was just bringing me into the hospital. My mom was going through radiation. It was just a really stressful time. And we had decided after this month that we needed to pull me from chemotherapy, because we felt like that wasn't the best plan for me. Through all of this, through a very stressful time, Bear Necessities, their bear hug for me was a Bulls games and Hawks games. And I will never, never, ever forget that, because it was a really stressful time in our lives, and we didn't have to think about all the chemo appointments and the radiation appointments. We just had a good time with my family. Love you guys. And you know, it was just such a great moment, and even though we lost, I won't forget that. It was a really good time, and we had a great time. Our second opinion was at Mayo Clinic, and the surgeon had told me that they could operate on my tumor. And he said he could take half of it out, and that there was a cyst on my tumor, which was giving me really, really bad headaches. And we made a family decision. We tried to make a family decision, I guess we should say. And then it was made for us when Mayo Clinic called us a month later and said that they needed to operate as soon as possible. And I didn't have much time left. I needed to come right in, and they needed to do all this. So it's February now, and a miracle happened on February 19th. The cyst was drained, and what was supposed to be half of my tumor that was removed, all of it was removed. Yeah. Now, however, after the surgery, I was left half blind with a hemianopsia, which is half blind on both eyes, so I could only see like half. Can't see any of that. No right peripheral, which is okay because I'm still here, so that's pretty awesome. But you know, the recovery process was pretty brutal, and being half blind is obviously not too fun. But you know, Bear Necessities, even after my surgery, they knew that was still going through a tough time, even though my tumor was removed, and I was granted with a Cubs game. I sat right behind Wrigley Field and went on Wrigley Field, and it was awesome. Won't ever forget that. So Bear Necessities has just really came through when I was the most depressed and when I was at my sickest, and I will never forget what Bear Necessities has done. And it's really nice to know that there's people out there that are willing to go step by step with you through your cancer journey. I like to thank Bear Necessities for all that they've done, and I like to thank Wendy as well for all that she's done for my family, and yeah, that's my story, guys. So.